Audio test. Audio test. Hello and welcome guys to the stream. Hello guys. Welcome guys to the stream. We are here at a lovely Inverness airport. Oh, we're parked right next to the whiz there on the ground here. Nice. Yeah, we're here at, oh, there you go. Enable the desktop audio quickly. We are here at the very nice Innsbruck airport. Just make sure everything's all good before we get started. Yep, lovely. We are here in the lovely airport of Innsbruck. We got some great scenery for this place with the whole, the numbers of the gates on the ground. We've got nice little hangars and the ground vehicles. It is a pretty nice free scenery to find. So, pretty good, I think. Anyway, we'll go ahead and jump inside. Actually, I forgot to update GSX. Maybe I should have done that. Oh, wow. No ATC today, unfortunately, so far. I will just have to live with that. There is EDWW Centre covering northwest Germany. That's not near us at all. Okay, it's all normal then. Fine. But yeah, we are here in Innsbruck. We'll go ahead and get ourselves set up for today's flight then. So go down to the load page, and today, what are we taking? That's not when good. My voice sounds all fine. We are taking 159 packs on board today with a cargo, no cargo at the moment, or put in some later depending on what we get, and a fuel of 8.4, okay, 8.4, that goes in there, and we want a 0 fuel weight. Does this thing give us a 0 fuel weight? No, it does not. Okay, well, we'll do it off the takeoff weight then. Takeoff weight is 68.6 today then. 68.6. So we want to be adding about 6,150. Let's try that. What do you mean not allowed? Oh, 6.15. 68.6. Perfect on the takeoff weight. So instant that. Everything's all loaded in then, how we want it. That can go back to the doors page now. It should all be good. Lovely. Just going to check the airport's in the correct state. I did do a little bit of fiddling around with it yesterday while testing some things out with my controls. It's all fine. Excellent. We'll make sure it's on the latest Air Act, which runs out. Oh, it's not going to run out for a week yet. We're okay. And we may as well get ourselves tuned over to Unicom now. 122.8, and we'll get 2,000. No, wait, no. There, 2,000 plugged in on the squawk. That is it for now. And we want, here you go, right, we are going here, actually let's get GSX activated before I do anything. Request boarding, we've got 159 packs on board today. Make sure everything's all loading. I'm not sure who's going to do the handling, but lag, there you go, lag, more lag. Welcome, oh dear, lag, here we go. Right, so we are here on the ground in Lowy, and we're heading down to Lieb, I don't know, which is Ibiza, heading down to Ibiza today, should be very nice. I'm looking forward to that. Ibiza's a very nice place to go. Very nice place, Ibiza, so we'll go ahead and get that set in there. Flight number today, we are Eurowings 4368. I'm using the call sign that they use between Salzburg and Ibiza. Cost the next day is going to be 27. Cruising initially at 290, and then after a short little time at 290, we're climbing up to 350. I don't know why, but that's what SimBrief has given us. I did put it in twice to make sure. Now I need to put in our block fuel, which was 8.4, and then that will help it work out times and things. You can't give it reserves and things, it just does it itself. That's how this plane is, a bit more basic. And out of Lowy today, we are going to be using runway 26. Now, because of the fact we're using 26, there isn't a SID today for our departure. There is not a SID. We only could have used a SID if we were going off 08, which the winds are not allowing today. So I will have a look. There's a chart here. Runway 08 initial departures. So well, I'm trying to find the runway here. So we head out to, oh, I don't know, who knows, honestly. The plane will probably work itself out. Bit odd. So you climb up to the RUM VOR, or NDB, I'm not sure. And from there, it's like a holding pattern, but you head in the wrong, that's in the wrong direction. That's the runway there. So 08, no, we're 26. Oh. So we head out of 26 and then do a climb up. That's in the wrong direction. I don't know, it's a bit followed by SIDS. So you do what? What is this? Oh, here you go. There is a Braino departure off runway 26. The Braino 3 Hotel. However, that doesn't allow it. We'll just accept that then. So you head out above 3,200. You make a turn to the RUM VOR, and then you make a turn out to... Oh, that makes sense. Can we do that or no? It's because of the terrain in the area. We have got this sort of weird... So let's have a look. Runway 26, initial departures. We make our way out. No, the initial departures thing is a bit silly. We'll follow the 3 Hotel go on. So we head out as far as the RUM VOR, and then we continue our way around. This is silly. This is to try and make up altitude, basically. Right, I'm going to do this. It's a bit of a weird one. So you head to RUM, like that, 9 miles, and then from RUM you make your way over to OEJ. And then from there it's a minimum bank of 25 degrees round to the Innsbruck VOR. Like that. Okay, cool. And then we'll be departing then to Braino. It's a bit of an odd procedure here at Innsbruck. That's how it is. Obviously, basically what it is. Obviously, we could just fly straight to Braino, but we need to be quite high up. Otherwise, we would just run into a mountain. So yeah, even though the plane didn't have that programmed, it's easy for me to do it myself like that. Now restrictions, we need to be. Well, there's no restrictions until OEJ. We need to be above 7,700. So OEJ. So it's plus 7700, like that. And then at Inverness VOR, that's it actually, and max 165 knots. So I will put that in as well, 165 knots.
Thank you.
And OEJ as well, maximum, that's what I put in. Yeah, maximum 165 knots. Then to Inverness there is no restriction, so we can climb as we want above 10,000. Fine, absolutely perfect. Then it is a little bit of an odd one, really, a little bit of an odd thing, but we're in obviously we are in Innsbruck. It's where you have some slightly strange procedures. Right, from Breno we actually get on our route then. We're taking M726 onto M984 via Naxav, yes, to Renter. Renter, there we go. And then from Renter, we are jumping direct to PDAD. And then we're jumping direct to Talep. Talep. Dun, 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 dun. Where is that? There it is. And then from Talep, we're jumping on UN850 to POS. POS. There we go. Execute that. And then from POS, we are then jumping on the arrival. It's going to be, let's look at the weather. It's going to be runway 24, sorry. Runway 24 arrival. Let's grab Navigraph charts quickly. Runway 24. And we are using, there we go, ILS 24. ILS Zulu, runway 24. And the Gislu transition. Oh wait, no. There you go. It's going to be the Gislu transition. Oh, I need to enter in the star first. Erase that. Right. Arrival. ILS 24 Zulu via the POS 4 November with the Gislu transition. Insert that. It's a bit of an odd arrival. It's very set. I suspect because of the airspace around Palma and Ibiza and Menorca, they're all very close together, so it probably has to be quite set. Now, no discounts then, all good, fine. Fine. I'm going to be using flaps 1 on takeoff today. Transition altitude is 10,000, V2 is going to be 144. Fine, and that is it. That is everything all plugged in then for the flight. So this can go back to the flight plan page. Looks as though, okay, they're still loading cargo, but they finished the packs side of things. So let's get our APU switching on. I turned off the wrong cargo door. Dope. And then we'll shut the doors as well, as we are almost ready, and they've almost finished loading the back cargo as well. Seatbelts can come on, beacon light can come on.
The cabin is secure, all passengers are aboard.
All packs and things are auto on this plane, well at least in this one. Fuel pumps can come on. We are on Unicom, there is no ATC available for us, so we can just get straight out of here. Okay. And that is it, guys, so I'll go ahead and grab the, let's have a look at how our departure is then, versus what we're meant to do. It's actually a left-hand turn to the RUM VOR. It's left turn, so not NDB, so I'll have to do that manually. But okay. And then it's to OEJ, and then it's a turn round to the Innsbruck VOR. Okay, so I don't know how to tell it, it's a left turn, I'll just do that myself. So, you know, I'll have to do a left turn myself. So, for now, we'll set runway heading, which is 272, on here. And we'll probably use heading. And then after intercepting it, we need to head on a course of 066, and it's a left turn over to 066. Bit of a complicated departure, but welcome to Innsbruck. It's what we have. So 272, I accidentally got rid of it, so I'll put that back in, there we go. And everything that can go onto the constraint mode, and a speed of 165. Initial climb is going to be Ultra 290 really, there's no proper restrictions in that sense. So back, this can go to the load and fuel page. I just want to check now the QNH. So the QNH here in Lowy is 1009er. So I'll get that set now. Pretty nice weather here in Innsbruck, not too bad. Lovely Eurowings livery this. Very nice. Oh, we've got a plane that spawned on top of a plane. How interesting. Anyway, right, that is everything all set up then, I think. That is everything all ready to go. Let's go into the ignition start mode. We'll turn on the TCAS. Innsbruck traffic, Eurowings 4368, push and start for taxi runway 26, Innsbruck traffic. Right, prepare for pushback and departure, and we'll be pushing back right, I think. Are we pushing back right or left? Let's have a look. We are going to be pushing back left. Runway 26, yes. We're going to be pushing back.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
That's a new voice from GSX. I've never heard that before. Right, so I'm really confused about which way we're pushing back here. So runway 26, yes? Yes. In that direction. So we're going to be pushing back right. And then heading off that runway, yes. Pushing back right. Good.
Looking here.
APU bleed is turned on. External power is turned off. I just want to make sure all the ground services are gone. Let's get our parking brake turned on. We can get rid of everything there. Cool. Flaps 5, no, flaps 1 is set for takeoff. Haven't flown the Airbus in quite a while, obviously. And yeah, we just need to wait now on the pushback. And obviously we're going to be, there you go, pushback right.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
There we go, engine 2 is going to start starting now. All brakes into the max position. We'll arm the spoilers as well. Just making sure everything is ready. Do a takeoff config test. It's not letting me do one. I guess the engines have to be started for it to do one, maybe. Right, engine 2 is fully starting to start now, so engine 1 can come online as well. And there we go, that is us pushing back from the lovely airport of Innsbruck. Shame back no ATC, but such a complicated airport, do I really mind? We're not going to be flying here for quite a while, unfortunately, I don't think. Got other airports to fly into, obviously, that are also just as difficult. Well, not quite as difficult, but we're flying into Gibraltar next week. And that is also known for having a little bit of a interesting approach. I think, yeah, obviously there is a plane inside a plane there. That Wizz Air has been online for hours now. It flew in from Warsaw and then for some reason is just still there. So I think, have they like forgotten to disconnect or something? I don't know. Right, engines are fully started so they can go back into the normal position. And the APU bleed can come off. APU itself can come off.
Parking brake.
Taxi lights can come on. Parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Everything looks good up there. Engines are started. Good. And yeah, so we're going to be vectoring ourselves out on runway heading initially. And then from there, we'll be heading, well, after past the intercept point, we will be on a heading of 066, a left turn to 066 to the run VOR, and then once after that I can resume own navigation on the SID, because for some reason, yeah, this SID doesn't actually exist in the plane or on Navigraph, despite the fact that there are charts for it. So yeah, Breno 3 Hotel, there's no mentions about the fact that you shouldn't I mean, obviously that's the thing I was thinking, you know, maybe it is quite important, isn't it?
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Everything all looks good. Initial climb is climb visually on runway track until the intercept point. Turn right. No. Turn visually left. 160 knots at a 25 bank. Join OEJ on course 066 to OEJ, and then a right turn round to the INN VOR. Perfect. The runway heading is 272, right? Correct? It's
Left is
258.
clear, right is clear.
It's a runway heading is 258, and then it's a turn to 272 once we are 1.2 miles from OEV, which is the intercept point, I think. So, yeah, until the intercept point, 258. No, we'll just do one, and then it's a visual turn then from there. Right, have a good trip, GSX says. So that's our cue to start powering up the engines and to get ourselves moving. Why are the throttles not going up? They are now. There was a little bit of a delay then, I made me worried. Right. There was a bit of a delay. We are getting actually quite poor performance. I don't know why. I'm only getting 18 FPS, even though, you know, I don't think the Airbus is that bad on performance. Right, takeoff check is done. We may as well just get the landing lights and the runway turn-offs off straight away. Nose lights can just come off because it's such a short taxi. Strobe lights can go to auto. Everything else is all good and ready to go. It's a very, 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 very short taxi here. We have nothing approaching, I don't believe. Do we have anything approaching? No, we don't. So I'm all good to take off without announcing on Unicom. There is nothing in the area. The next arriving aircraft is quite a long way away. Here at Innsbruck, it's not within radar view, not within the view on Vatsim. Actually, it is. It's currently at 33,000 feet though. It's heading in from Heathrow. But, you know, it's not even started descending yet. I haven't heard anything from it on Unicom either. Right, taxi on then. We'll go ahead and turn right, and then we'll do a little spin around on the runway. We do need the full length here. We'll definitely do a toga takeoff, because it's not a short runway, but it's fairly short. No ATC though, shame. No ATC at the moment for the whole of today. I don't know, that might change later on, obviously. Right, we're coming up to the little turnaround point now on the runway. I'm going to be following the charts for my arrival sort of thing. Not my arrival, my departure. What am I on about? Transition altitude here is 10,000. So that's when we'll be resuming standard pressure. Right, we're coming up to the end of this turnaround point. Let's start spinning the plane around. Everything's all ready for takeoff, so we're all good. And get ourselves lined up on the runway, ready for the flight out. Right, the OEV VOR, I'll make sure, right, let's get that tuned in before I take off actually. I should have done this a bit earlier. Where are the nav radios on this thing though? That's what's quite important. I don't actually know where the nav radios are. Are they in here? Can I get them from in here? Here you go. VOR 1. We want O, E, V. This is important for when we make our turn. OEV. So when we are 1.2 miles from OEV, we make the left turn to 272. Right, away we go. Initial power set and toga. Start the clock at the same time. And away we go. SRS and runway. Airspeed is live. So yes, basically turn left to 272, 1.2 DME from OEV. And then we'll make the left turn then round to 066 visually shortly after. Right, there's 100 knots. There is V1 and rotate. Positive climb and gear up. And straight away, we want to get in the autopilot and make sure we can follow this. So 257, There's 1.2 DME. So round to 272 on the heading now. Round to 272 on the heading. This thing's struggling to gain speed. We might also go flaps up until the end of this procedure because it's max 165 knots. Right, runway turn-offs can come off now. And then we'll make the turn now. Left. Round to 066. And this thing is struggling to gain airspeed a little bit. Put it back to thrust climb mode now and it should follow itself. Right, round to 066 on the heading then. And this thing should hopefully start following a proper path now.
Terrain ahead.
What do you mean terrain?
Pull up.
That's not what the chart said. Have we got an issue with terrain or are we okay? How are we? No, it looks green to me, that does. We need to be above 3,200 feet before we made the climb, and we were.
Terrain
so
ahead. Pull up.
we're fine, don't worry. Oh dear. Don't worry, we're alright. We stuck to the 25-degree climb, we're alright. We're banking 25 degrees, I think, something like that anyway. And there you go, we're making the heading turn, we're all good. We're clear of the terrain. So the plane doesn't need to worry. Right, now we'll set it on a direct course for OEJ, which this thinks we've already passed. Thank you, plane. That's why the course got slightly messed up then. Right, Where's OEJ? Where's J? I'm looking for J on the screen. Why can't I find J? Am I being thick? I bet there you go. OEJ. There. Direct to OEJ. So it's... Why does it just keep deleting it? It just deletes it every time. Oh, whatever. I don't know why it keeps deleting it, guys, but it does. Anyway, right, this can go into... Nope. Sorry, not nav. Right, we'll continue to do this ourselves then, because the plane doesn't want to do it. And we'll do a vertical speed of plus 2,000, because this plane doesn't want to hear it, obviously. And this plane decided to throttle back for no apparent reason. Great. Yeah, for some reason it deleted the first few waypoints. Right, let's take it into toga mode. This thing doesn't want to... This thing just suddenly dropped power on us. And it's very bumpy as well, which really isn't helping. Let's get the weather radar turned on. Where's the weather radar? Whoa, this turbulence is bad. Weather radar, where are you? There you go, weather and turbulence, and flick it on. There you go. It's working, because you can see that. We're still climbing, we're okay. And we need to go to OEJ. Let's get that plugged in on the nav radios. Because, like, otherwise I can't see where it is, sadly. As my plane has decided... Right, there you go. Back to thrust climb now. I don't know what happened there. This plane just suddenly decided to give up on airspeed there for a bit. It just, when we put in the vertical speed, it decided to just drop off. But it's continuing now, so we're all right. So heading it down to OEJ, and then it's a turn round to the Innsbruck VOR, which once again is not there. So I want to get Innsbruck. Because for some reason our plane just kept deleting the waypoints. Thank you, plane, for doing that. Why does it not reckon? Oh, INN. That's why I missed that. There you go. I think our plane is being a bit strange. There's one called In plane, and it is literally like right next to us. It's about 5 miles. Oh, whatever. I'll do it based on the charts. being a bit odd, our plane today. Right, we're coming up to OEJ now, and we are above 7,700 feet, so we're absolutely fine. We can disarm the spoilers, actually. I should have done that a bit earlier. Yeah, this thing is struggling for speed because of the max 165 knots restriction that is in place. I don't know, think about it. Maybe that shouldn't have been in place, but whatever. And then it's a turn. Where is this? It is a turn. It just says right to INN. It doesn't actually say, okay. But it's roughly going to be a heading of 250, roughly. Go on. So making the turn now. This thing struggles to maintain airspeed for some reason. Right, off go the landing lights. There's 10,000, and we can go standard pressure as well. Yeah, this thing's struggling to maintain airspeed for some reason. I don't know why. Right, can I get it to go direct? Oh, I don't know what's going on with this. It's basically saying, like, it keeps putting out waypoints that we haven't hit yet. Oh dear. Right, toga that. This thing is struggling with airspeed today. I don't know why. Right, we're on the right heading, but we're facing slightly the wrong way. Yeah, this thing doesn't like turning. Right, we can actually get rid of the speed restriction now. We can give it our control of the speed and our control of... And there you go, this thing can now start. And we're going to go direct to ECPIS now. Just forget the procedure now properly because of the slight weirdness we encountered there with the plane deleting every single waypoint. Because it thought we'd passed it, I'm guessing. I don't know. Really? Right, where's the direct button on this thing? Is it because we're already going direct? We can't. I do wonder, why have I forgotten how to go direct to waypoints in this thing? Right, thrust climb mode. Climb is set. Right, this thing can now properly relax. And flaps can come in as well, and we can get straight up to our proper speed. Yeah, I don't know what I did there. Slight oddness. Obviously, you know, that's what you get with this airport. So you do get some slight changes. Not changes, what's it called? Oh, there's the direct button. Why did I miss that? Seriously, why did I miss that direct button? We'll make sure this plane is going direct. There you go. To the next waypoint, and we can just continue on from here then. Because we're okay. We're above the terrain now safely. So we're alright. And this thing can now resume a proper climb. And Marseille controller online as well, who we are going to get some coverage from in a little bit. Right, up to 290 now, and then it's up to 350. Up to 350 at 350 after PIDAD. Perfect. And seatbelt signs can now be turned off. And there we go, guys. We are now, after a little bit of a chaotic departure, I think, we are safely in the air above Innsbruck. Yeah, partially. Unfortunately, if that SID was in the plane to start with, that would have made my job a lot easier. But for whatever reason, that SID was not there. So... And it's not even featured according to Navigraph, so I have no idea. Maybe I shouldn't have followed that SID. Maybe it would have been easy. So I couldn't have gone direct to Breno because I would have just hit into a mountain. Obviously, that's why Innsbruck is quite a challenging airport. So, you know, right, and we'll make sure as well I delete this so it can find its own frequency. There we go. And we're all okay now. Everything is all fine. After a little bit of a chaotic departure there. Going through the clouds at the moment as well. there we go. We're all good now. We're all happy. Yeah, a bit of a challenging airport, Innsbruck. I mean, it's kind of what you expect, isn't it? But never mind.
Innsbruck traffic. Innsbruck traffic, easy to 718, with air to 718, pushback, stand 6.
Someone's pushing back. That was the Wizz Air we saw. Right. Oh. Marseille Centre were online for about 5 minutes and then just went offline. Who knows? Maybe they'll come back on later. That'd be nice. Never mind. Right, we are now en route. And then from Piedade, we can go up to our final cruise altitude of 350 today. All fine, we're all good. We didn't crash into a mountain, so we succeeded in our quest, although this plane did struggle a bit with airspeed there for a bit, didn't it? Maybe a flaps 2 departure would have been a little bit more suited to help us maintain 165 knots. Maybe. Looking at the flap speeds, we would have gotten away with flaps 2, so maybe we should have done a flaps 2 takeoff. That's my own fault. Well, we're learning from experience, so next time I will, of course, make sure if we do fly into an airport like Innsbruck to do a flaps 2 departure, but oh well. Look at the positives, we didn't crash into a mountain. Who cares what happens as long as they don't crash? Then it's all good. Right, this thing has started to slow its climb. Obviously this plane, you know, is the king of doing that. We are actually going to have a few headwinds today, not the best of weather in terms of that sense. Weather down in Ibiza, let's have a look at the weather in Ibiza. So the weather down in Ibiza, 210 at 11 and clouds scattered at 1200 feet. So looking at the weather forecast, it's going to be a runway 24 definitely. Which is what we've already planned, which is great. It's still 700 miles now to Ibiza. It's quite an extended flight today because of the strange procedures into Ibiza and out of what's it called? Innsbruck. As you can see, the arrival is very set, like this. Look, that's our arrival. It's very, very, very set. So I'll have to follow that. I've got a bit of weather there appearing on the radar, but it's alright. Not much of it is crossing our route, and the bit of it is green, so that's green for it's okay. However, the weather does always change in this plane. As I know, it sounds to be climbing, I think, probably. It'll change its mind. Because we are going to eventually climb above all these clouds. It just takes a bit of time. We've got 5,000 feet left now until 290. And then we're going to be there, not for very long actually, only until Piedade. So 180-ish miles. And then we'll make our way up to 350, which is the final altitude for today. I don't know why Simbrief decided to plan this slightly weird altitude thing. I'm actually going to have a look. Is there like there might have been an altitude restriction. No, yes, on this segment, like Mike 984 until Renter, you can't go higher than 30,000. So, as an IFR aircraft, so that's why. And then, for some reason, I don't know why after Renter you can't just climb. Why can't we just climb after Renter instead? Because there's no restriction then. I don't know, we'll stick to what Simbrief has said though. You know, I'd rather do that. And 290 is still pretty high up, so it's not like it's really low. If it was more like 240, I would make sure to get up as soon as possible, but it's not as bad. Okay, just 3,000 feet more now until we have got to cruise. It's very cloudy here. Got quite a few, got a little plane up there, that's nice. Yeah, no ATC as of yet, unfortunately. Never mind. Now, in terms of planes approaching Ibiza, we are way behind them by about an hour. So we'll have, at the moment, Ibiza to ourselves. Right, let's get to 290 then. A little bit of lag there, I have no idea why. There just was. Yeah, this thing is such a slow climber. I do forget that about the Airbus. It's like the world's slowest climber. It's so slow. Until a certain altitude. It's just like, come on, come on, come on. Right, we've got 1,500 feet left. Now, it's actually very busy around here. We've got a lot of planes appearing. That's why it was laggy. Oh, I'm a moron. I wondered why there were so many planes, and I was wondering why it was lagging. It's because we had AI turned on. Oh, no. Well, there we go, guys. It's not lagging anymore. I forgot to turn off the AI from yesterday's stream. RIP. RIP. Well, that's better. I'm happy now. Well, there we go. That solves our lag problem. That's why it was lagging in Innsbruck when we were on the ground. It's all the AI it has to load in. I always forget that I have to turn AI on and off, and normally I realise before I take off, but because Innsbruck, there's nothing on the ground in Innsbruck, so I didn't know. Normally there's things on the ground. Well, there we go, that's great, isn't it? Right, we're at 290 now. Hopefully the game will perform a little bit better now, right? Looks like we're actually going to be heading through a few clouds, possibly. Not doing bad on the speed. There's not really any wind about right now, so we're able to maintain a pretty nice speed. So yeah, we're up here at 290. We're going to be here now for 180 miles. In fact, you know what? I can actually just set a restriction of 290 at PIDAD and then put in a cruise altitude of 350. That'll be a lot easier. Then this thing can climb. Actually, no, forget that, because otherwise it's going to think we have to descend. Right. There. We're good now. And they go back, it's us in the air then. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Marseille Centre went online, and then literally 5 minutes later went offline, so who knows? But we haven't got ATC at the moment, anyway. Unfortunately. Never mind, I guess. We're doing pretty good on the speed front at the moment, not bad. It's quite nice out there. It's very cloudy though, just very cloudy. We've got no... I don't think we're flying through any of the weather though. So that's alright. I'll make sure charts are up ready for... Let's plan our arrival now actually. I may as well just do that. So ILS Zulu, runway 24. Get the parking stands, and actually I don't need the parking stands, it's a teeny airport. I actually flew in to check the scenery. No, not flew in, I spawned in at Ibiza to check the scenery, and it was it's actually quite a simple airport, and we are using the POS for November. Yes. And got some lightning flashes. Interesting. Well, I've got lightning flashes. There's no bad weather in the area, this weather radar's telling me. Right, so we head... Okay, right. We have got to be above 10,000 at Palenza. Above, that which is Pos. Above 4,500 at Mallorca. Above 4, yeah, and 220 knots. Then 210 knots. Above 3,000. Above 3,000 and 210 the entire way until Gislu. And then from Gislu you head to Batby, which is on the ILS, and and then the glide slope starts at Ernut. Nope, the glide slope starts after that. It starts at D6, which is, FF24. And we've got to be 2,000 at the start of the glide slope, 3,000 at Ernut above. Is that above 3,000 or after? No, it's not highlighted, so that means right, decision. Okay, minimums today is going to be 260 feet above the ground, so 279er, which is here. No, that's the init page. Alright, where is it? Here you go, performance. QNH down there is 1007, I believe. Temperature is 24 degrees. Wind 210 at 11. Transition altitude I don't actually know yet. And minimums, let's go back to the charts quickly. Minimums 279, and we can check the transition altitude then as well. Yeah, I don't know why we're getting lightning flashes. We're not really in any bad weather. Transition altitude is 6,000. Transition level is done by ATC, so it'll just be 6,000 because there's no ATC online at the moment, and there probably won't be actually. So that means everything's all set up for Ibiza now. Yeah, I would. You know what? I'm going up to 350. Forget it. I don't want to. I'm going to climb earlier because of this weather. And because of the fact that there is actually no restriction, it turns out, on what altitude we can be at after Renta. That's, the restriction was until Renta on the airway. And then after that, I mean, this is a direct, so there is no restrictions. It's not even in an airway. And the flight level of the waypoint is both. So it's fine in that way. So it doesn't matter. So we are all good. So we've got 5,000 feet left to climb. I just want to climb out this weather basically. There's no weather, there's no clouds up there, but down here where we are now, there is some not very nice cloud. So I'd rather just get straight up to 35,000 and leave it at that. Yeah, we've got a little bit left now until, but yeah, we can go quicker as well up at this altitude, so it's a little, it's just nicer really being up at 350 rather than 290, and they're both old flight levels again, so no restriction in that sense, in terms of old versus even, so it's a bit of a weird one, but I'll just ignore it brief. We've got no ATC online because there's no point staying at 290 if we don't need to be at 290. I'm just going to get out of this weather really, where it's flashing and cloudy and not quite as nice as it would be. Now this flight, I'm pretty sure, will be quicker than planned. No, slower than planned, I mean. We can't really trust the ETA of the plane. You just can't. This plane doesn't tend to be correct, so who knows. But yeah, it doesn't tend to be accurate, this plane, with that. Yeah, no ATC, which is a shame. It was a bit of a weird one, really, because we had no, no, what's it called? Marseille Centre came online and then just disappeared 5 minutes later. So, yeah, teeny bit old. Yeah, as you can see now, look, we've climbed out of all the horrible clouds, and we've actually gained, we haven't really gained any speed because the weather up here is not, still not great, but we're out of the clouds mainly. We're still getting those odd, sort of lightning flashes, I think they are. I'm not really sure what they are. But yeah, it's better to be up at a nice cruising altitude, and then obviously we don't have to step climb then for the whole route. So it's just easy like that, isn't it? Also, we're taking a 787 out of here on tomorrow afternoon. We're taking a 787 out of Ibiza, so that should be fun. How long is the runway at Ibiza? I'm just checking. Oh, it's 9,000 feet, so it's not too bad. It is a 787-9 though. It's not even the -8. It is a slightly bigger variant. Well, we're up at 350 now, and the weather is, well, there's less of it. I think we have actually lost a slight amount. Actually, I'm about the same, really. I'd rather be up here at 350 than down at 290 anyway. Top of descent in 380 miles now. Okay. There is a plane bound for Ibiza currently on the ground in Nice. And we haven't actually passed Nice yet, and we are passing quite close by it, so if they depart soon they'll be in Ibiza roughly the same time as us, but who knows. Weather down in Ibiza last refreshed at past, so it'll be refreshing again on the o'clock, so give it 15 minutes and we'll see a new piece of weather, because it's always a bit slow to update. 24 degrees down there, that's nice, and just a few clouds scattered at 1200, so pretty nice.
Hello, Captain. Would you like some coffee?
No, I'm good. I'm more of a tea person. Yeah, I much prefer tea to coffee. I don't like coffee. Nah. Yeah, it would be lovely if we could have some ATC, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any ATC today. I don't know. That's a shame, really, isn't it? Obviously we're taking part in an event on Saturday, so we're going to get we're going to get ATC on Saturday, which is nice. But never mind, I guess, isn't it? Never mind. We're up at 35,000 feet. We're not too far away from Pidad. Too far, really, so not bad. Yeah, the arrival's a little bit old, but it's all above sort of things, so it's okay. I don't know how the descent path is. They've only got 4 miles between each waypoint though, so looking at it that way, it's not so bad. Yeah, all is looking good. I will just check actually how on time we are. So we passed Venta at 12:53. So 12 minutes ago, so that was 18 minutes into the flight. We were meant to pass it 13 minutes into the flight. So we have, by doing that procedure in Innsbruck, we added on about 5,000 feet. You know, we added about 5 minutes, not 5,000 feet. What on earth? Yeah, about 5 minutes we added on to our flight. So estimated flight time will be just short of 2 hours, I think, today. Depending on how the rest of it goes. Nice. I'm not doing any long flights this week either, just standard events, you know, standard length of flights and things. Nothing too crazy today. No, this week now. Also, guys, we have of course stopped doing the US flying. I have stopped that because of the fact that we never get any ATC. I'm having a look now, and you know the US is pretty empty when it comes to ATC still. So it's one of those things. It's just never very good for ATC the US at this time of day. So why bother flying there? You know, I mean, at the moment we haven't got any ATC ourselves, unfortunately. Hopefully that will change. Maybe Marseille Centre will come online at some point. Who knows? Or any sort of Eurocontrol as well. I don't know. At the moment, there is nothing in the area, nothing that's spawning up on V-Pilot. There's Adriatic Centre and Eurocontrol East, and that is it. There's nothing else online in terms of ATC, sadly, but never mind. Never mind. I've got a little patch of weather up here. It's only green, so it doesn't matter, but interesting to note. Have to watch that. Generally though, with weather, when you get closer to it in this plane, it does just disappear. Who knows why? It just does. So that might happen. But yeah, we will watch that weather. It's only green, of course, so not much of an issue.
I have some drink for you, Captain.
Drinks?
Here you are.
Okay. As long as it's not coffee, flight attendant. I have to look now. I don't think, yeah, we haven't got any new weather through for Ibiza yet, so who knows on that, I guess. It's a nice plane, this. I love the livery as well. I love Eurowings' livery. It is a nice livery. And look at that. Actually, I need to take a screenshot. I've never done a Eurowings flight, really, so I don't often do them, so I haven't got a decent thumbnail. There we go. There's our thumbnail. Perfect. And as you can see, the weather is slowly moving backwards because it just does that. It does slowly move further and further backwards. It's just how it does it. Yeah, I don't really know what goes on with weather radar half the time, but, you know. Yeah, cruising on at the moment. This thing, you know, it's a pretty quick plane, the A320. It's not really quick. There are better ones out there. So we're only 530 miles now from Ibiza. Only 35 minutes until descent, actually. So not bad. We've only been in the air 36 minutes, so I don't know, maybe you know, this flight could be quicker. Currently this plane is saying an ETA of an hour and 10 minutes, so that's an hour and 46 flight time. I don't know, initially when we plugged in the whole route and gave it the block fuel, which is generally the most accurate time, it said an hour and 56. 1 hour, no, it said 1 hour 52. And SimBrief said 1 hour 56. And that's after I put in the procedure. I'll have to wait and see how the weather turns out. Well, the weather is actually, I think, slightly better than initially planned by SimBrief. I'll have a look now at what the weather... So at Pidad, the weather was meant to be... Where is it? Pidad, the weather was meant to be 300 at 020. So it's the same direction, but it's 10 knots more, which is actually not really mattering at all there. So yeah, let it go on with it. We are meant to be landing with 3.3 on the fuel. 3,300 kilos meant to be landing with. 3,200 that's saying. So we're using ever so slightly more fuel than planned. Probably because of all the times we used Toga actually going out of Innsbruck. That wasn't great because this plane did struggle to keep airspeed. I think maybe I should have gone for flaps 2 takeoff, as I said, instead of a flaps 5, maybe. Would have been a bit of a better idea, but never mind. What can you do, I guess? What can you do? We'll learn from experience. That's the first time I've ever flown out of Innsbruck, so... Yeah, and that weather front just keeps moving backwards and backwards. It's really silly. But it just does that. So I guess ignore it. See there, look, the weather is obviously constantly moving about with what it decides is what is where, but who knows. Oh, here you go, we've got the new weather through on Ibiza. Clouds are now scattered at 1,000 feet, so they're a little bit lower. And apart from that, I don't think much has actually changed. The wind is the same. 21011, 24 degrees, okay, so the weather's basically the same. Just the clouds have lowered a teeny bit, but remember it's only scattered, it's only partly cloudy, so we're not going to have a thick layer of cloud, or at least we shouldn't have a thick layer of cloud. So we're all right for that. Oh, a little bit of turbulence there, just plane did rock around slightly. We're all right though, we're all right. We've got 25 miles left to run to Pidad, and then from there it's going to be slight left turn and then very short to Talet, and then from there we're jumping on our airway then all the way to Pos, and then from there obviously we're jumping on our arrival into Ibiza. I'll just check, so we're descending in... We are descending a bit early, actually. We're meant to be descending in, I'd say, 350-ish miles, so... Right, I'll just check there isn't, like, a restriction in here that's a problem. If there's one that's been put in wrong and says we have to be at 3,000 or something, then that obviously will alter the descent planning. It all looks fine. I wonder why it's telling us to... All of these are all above, so I don't know why it's telling us to descend so early. Seems too early for me, that does. Because there is absolutely there's no restriction in terms of you have to be below a certain altitude. It's all above. All of it. Or maybe it's the max 220 knots thing. Maybe it wants to be lower for that. I don't know. Who knows? It's a bit of an odd one. But everything's all looking good. It's just for some reason it wants us to be... Yeah, it wants us to descend quite early. Yeah, 210 miles out is very early. You know, from 350 with no proper restrictions. So, who knows why? Especially with the speed restrictions, we're only slowing down. So it is a little bit strange that it's decided to do that. I mean... Hopefully it'll maybe recalculate. So at the moment it says flight level 260 at Nellas, or round it, and then I'll see what it says later. Maybe it will change its mind a little bit as it works things out. Okay, so the weather that was here, look, totally gone. It just keeps being pushed back further and further. So I do wonder how accurate the weather radar actually is on this thing, but it's set to auto tilt. Anyway, or maybe not. Okay, I'll let it do what it wants. Alright, we're turning now to Talep. This is going to get us a little bit of a boost of speed here. Briefly, while we're still at this heading. Right, the plane from Nice just took off and it is actually heading to Ibiza. Okay, I'm going to have to watch that then, because we are really close. Oh, great. And it's their first time flying the A319, so they might be a bit, well, unfamiliar with their aircraft and unfamiliar with Vatsim, possibly. So I will have to watch that. In fact, even under on their route, they've wrote Nice, Sid, their route, and then Star, and then Ibiza. You're not meant to write Sid and Star, you're meant to write what your Sids and Stars are. That's not great. Okay, I'll have to watch that maybe then. Right, passing Talep now, so we're back on course with our route, which obviously might change. Our speed will probably come back down to what it was previously now, obviously. Got another few waypoints now. All on the airway to Innsbruck now. I will have to watch that flight out of Nice. At the moment, its ETA is 40 minutes behind me, but it's still climbing. Obviously, it's still working out with speed, so I have to watch what it does. We've got no ATC sadly, so I'm gonna, I guess, have to leave that. It's such a shame we are getting unlucky with ATC, because it's nice to have ATC, but yeah, there never seems to be a lot, sadly. Our ETA obviously is starting to fall back, because that's what this plane does. Its ETA system, whatever system it uses to calculate ETA, is shocking. Put it that way, it's really bad. It doesn't have a clue about what it's doing. I'm going to look at our arrival quickly just to make sure that the restrictions are correct. make sure there isn't one that says like at 3,000. It's all fine. So the restriction is all the restrictions are absolutely perfect. So why it's telling us to descend so early, I don't really know. I don't know. If the plane thinks that's when we need to descend, it's when we need to descend, obviously. So I guess I'll just have to go with that. Luckily, Ibiza's a bit more simple airport to fly into, so we shouldn't have any issues like we did in Innsbruck there. Taking off, that was interesting. To Stodry. From there we head to Abron, and then it's quite a long gap to the next waypoint. Still got 230 miles left to descent, and it's still saying 260 at Nellas, so it's maintaining like the same thing all the time. Right, we've got 4 miles left. Yeah, so 444 miles until Ibiza. We should get some new weather in about 20 minutes for Ibiza. And that'll probably... Is that the weather we're going to use for landing? It might be. I don't know, I'll have to see. Right, that plane then, that's taking off at the same time as us, its ETA is now shifting back because it's speeding up. It's just left Nice, which is... you know, somewhere over there from where we are now. We are literally right alongside Nice. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully it'll take a similar start to us. That'll help. I'll have to see. It's still at 288 knots yet, so, and it's cruising at 310. Yeah, as long as I watch it and just make sure it doesn't, well, hopefully, yeah, there won't be a problem. But as it speeds up, obviously, it will start to get in the way with me. So I'm jumping on the airway of It's finishing. It is actually joining at Ballon. It is actually passing through Ballon, but on different waypoints. And there's Ballon, so that'll be a good indication of where it is. But from Ballon, it's going to Rixot, and it is taking the Rixot 3 November probably then. So it'll be a similar sort of arrival to me, basically the same arrival as me, just from a different point. So that's kind of nice. We'll just have to watch it, I think. Obviously, where we are at Ballon will be a great indication, because it's passing Ballon as well. So that probably will be the easiest way to tell who's ahead of who. Maybe I'll contact them if they are, once they get, if it does turn out they're going to be quite close. I don't know. Have to wait and see. I mean, I'm going to be 4,000 feet below me, so they won't actually pop up on my TCAS, thinking about it. So, unless I set my TCAS to below. Yeah, no ATC though, that is a shame. No ATC. And we are currently in Marseille's airspace, and obviously they're not online. We could have Eurocontrol, and after that we also pass into Barcelona centre. So again, maybe, but I don't think they're going to have anything either. Oh well. Oh well. Right, after this turn, we're going to have no waypoints for quite a bit, so it'll be a good indication of our cruise speed for the next sort of bit of a journey. It's all looking good. We are going to start... It's looking like mostly just a dead-on crosswind. Maybe even work a headwind once we've finished, I don't know. Yeah, it is now a headwind. Our speed is going to keep decreasing now, unfortunately, with this headwind. So we have lost a little bit of speed to that, unfortunately. Yeah, 438 we're now doing in terms of ground speed. That's not the nicest. Never mind that. I don't know that. I think it's a Volatea. I'm not sure. VOE. It's actually it's at cruise pretty much, but it's only doing like 300 knots. It's doing 335 knots, so it's going very slowly. I don't know why. Who knows? But if it keeps that part of that up, well, it'll be quite easy. I'll be there first by about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. This thing's. So if it speeds up, they're going to be pretty much equal. Yeah, look at this. Our plane's like sort of going sideways. Look, because of the wind, it almost looks like. It's strange. It's quite cool, I think. It's a nice livery, this, the Eurowings. We've got some pretty high up clouds today as well. It's not the best of weather up here in the skies, but we've managed to avoid most of it, which is nice. Oh yeah, it has started speeding up now, so it'll probably be in Ibiza before us. That plane from Nice. Also on Navigraph and on here, look, it looks like we're almost going in the wrong direction, but it's because of how the crosswind is like changing how our plane is acting. It's quite funny. Normally you don't get a crosswind quite this strong, I think. There's currently 4 planes on the ground in Ibiza. That's probably nuts, really, because it's not even like that big an airport. There's quite a few stands because of how it's laid out, but it's pretty crazy. Right, weather. Okay, we should get a weather update in about 10 minutes, hopefully. Have to see. 120 miles to Ballon. I'll have to watch the descent then. The descent is up here, look. In about 175 miles. So not long until descent, just 20 minutes now, 19 minutes. Obviously our ETA though at destination will probably continue to slip, so it'll probably be a bit longer than that. Probably more like 25 minutes until we start descending, I should think. So this plane is a little bit sideways. Yeah, it's a nice livery, this. a really nice livery. I'm glad we're flying Eurowings today. I thought, you know, what should we fly? And I don't know why I picked Eurowings, but because I don't think anyone flies this route in real life. But I just thought, well, yeah, it's Austria to Spain, and obviously Eurowings have very big. I think they took over quite a lot of Air Berlin's routes, maybe. Out of Palma at least, so they've got a massive amount of flights in Palma, and they've got quite a lot of flights out of Austria and Germany. So I think, well, you know, if we're going between these two places, it's like the perfect flight to do. Right, that plane then, I think it's a Volatea. Okay, it has now gained quite a bit of speed. It's actually going about the same speed as me now, so it's going to be there 4 minutes ahead of me, according to the ETAs, the direct ETAs. But that's some ATC, wouldn't it? Hopefully we can do a good landing in this thing. I don't often fly this plane, but I thought, again, it is perfect that we're flying it today, because we're flying it again on Saturday for the event that we're doing, the Singapore Real Ops from Ho Chi Minh City to Singapore. So it's kind of perfect in that way. I will actually check, what is the local time in Singapore? Because I want to know, is it going to be dark when we fly into Singapore on Saturday? It is GMT +8, so it's going to be, we're landing at 10:30 Zulu, which is GMT, so it's going to be about 6:30, so it's not going to be dark, but it's not going to be particularly light either. What about Ho Chi Minh? That's GMT +7 as well, so it'll probably be daytime when we leave Ho Chi Minh City, and then it'll become maybe a little bit, maybe evening in Singapore. It won't be dark, I don't think, but it won't be probably light either. Maybe it'll be like just on the verge of getting to night. And I'm hoping that like things like Vietnam control will be online, because of the fact that there's an event on in Singapore. Obviously, it's all linked up. So it'd be quite nice if we could do that. I can tell that the Volatea is that. I think that's it there. No, that's not it. It's at 31,000 feet. I say it won't appear on my TCAS because of that. It's actually dropped its speed to 420 knots now, so it's actually very close to me in terms of who's getting there first. My speed's maintained about 430, just above 430. But I should get some new weather through for Ibiza quite soon, hopefully. Shouldn't be too long until we get some new weather for Ibiza. It should be about 5 minutes. 5 to 7 minutes from now, we should get the half 1 Zulu weather. I think we are going to be picking up the 2 o'clock Zulu weather as well before we arrive. So it won't be the last weather, because we've still got, this thing's 50 minutes we've got left. I reckon more like an hour left. I'll have to wait and see. Yeah, this stream might be quite long. Obviously, we did spend a little bit more time setting up the plane in Innsbruck than sometimes we do, because of the strange procedure out of Innsbruck. Bit of an odd one. Yeah, 345 miles, so we're descending in just 130 miles actually. 15 minutes. But then obviously the descent is quite long, I guess. We are descending a little bit too early for my liking. I don't know why that is, but we're definitely descending too early. wish the plane would tell me why it's descending so early, but you know, it just makes up its mind, I guess. We'll set all brakes medium, may as well for arrival. Also, I have actually the thing I was doing, fiddling around my controls. I basically changed it. I did actually set this initially, and I wondered why it didn't work. I discovered you have to like double click the option when setting it inside FSX is to get it to repeat the action as long as the control is active. So with reverses, I moved it into the reverse position, and it just did one notch on the reverse, which is obviously useless. You want either roughly 50% to max reverses, so that wasn't working. So what I was gonna do is, yeah, basically I made it so that does work now, where if you hold down the button on the throttle axes, it does actually now put out the reverses. So I have actually got reverses now that work from my throttle quadrant rather than from my keyboard, which is nice. It means we can avoid using the keyboard, it's a little bit quicker. And the same thing applies to my rudder on the yoke too. Also, we have this nice like trailing camera as well. There's some nice cameras. I've got a little like flyby camera as well. There's some nice cameras that come with this A320. I'm gonna stick with the this cam here. Hopefully I can aim for a good landing. I don't know how it's going to be. We'll have to wait and see. Might be good, might be terrible. We'll see. We will see. My speed has actually dropped slightly, and we're now going to be turning further towards the wind as well after balance, so that will slow us down even more. Because we're only 60 miles from Balin now, not far. Right, we should have some new weather through for Ibiza soon. Not yet. I reckon in the next 3 minutes we'll have some new weather through for Ibiza. And that'll be rather nice. That'll help me. Well, hopefully we can just stick with runway 24. Although I wouldn't mind switching runways because of the strange procedure we've got going on. But we'll have to wait and see on that. So yeah, we've got just under 320 miles left now to Ibiza. So I look outside, I think it's just ocean really. We're going to be flying over Menorca, but not fully over. We're going to be flying fully over Mallorca, a bit of a lower altitude, which will be nice. So it's still quite cloudy down here. I mean, a bit unusual for Spain maybe, but oh well. That's how that is. Right, that Volatea, it's how is it doing 480 knots? That's what I want to know. How can it do 480 knots despite being like at 31,000 feet with headwinds? Like, strange. Unless they're not using like active sky or something, I don't know. We're meant to meet it around balance. If I flick the transponder to the below, that's it there. So it's looking, we actually bang on. So I haven't really heard anything off it on Unicorn, but we'll see. Still no weather update for Ibiza yet, so that'll be another few minutes then, will it? So Yeah, somewhere down there I should see it, although I can't see it right now. Strangely. Yeah, I imagine we should be descending pretty soon. Yep, just 90 miles. That's not long at all. That is not long at all. Shame we've had no ATC today. It would have been nice to have some ATC, but I guess not. There's 2 planes right now on the ground in Ibiza, so it's quieting down a considerable amount, which is nice. I don't know what sort of descent this plane's going to do. Whether it's going to be like quite a quick descent then, maybe? I don't know. But I said, looking at restrictions, I don't know why we are descending so early. We just are. For some strange reason. Also, why does that say 10,000? It should really say flight level 100 because of the transition altitude, but whatever. Still no new weather. Okay, what about I check the meta? Because something tells me the meta will be the one that's... Check the meta on Vatsim by now, and it'll be up to date. Let's do it now. And the meta's up to date. 220 at 12 are the winds. And 24 degrees, QNH 1007. So nothing else has changed, but just apart from the other wind. And there you go, it's just updated on active sky now. Clouds are scattered at 1,000 feet still, so the clouds have not moved at all either. Right, that other plane is now ahead of me, I think. If I flick the T-caster below, look, it is ahead of me. Somehow, as I said, I have no idea, but somehow it's doing a lot faster pace than me, despite the fact that it's, well, not quite the same heading, but, oh my god, its speed has dropped now. So that makes more sense. It's already ahead of me now, though, so it'll get there first, I think. Just got to make sure it takes the same arrival, that's going to be the issue. It takes another runway, like, I mean, it shouldn't, obviously. The winds are firmly in favour of runway 24. It's minus 43 outside, according to this plane mast. Chilly. Very, very chilly. Best way I can describe it. Shame there's no ATC though. I would have loved that. Never mind. Well, we are going to be descending quite soon. It's on our radar. I just want to check this thing does know we're at 35,000. Yeah. Just wondering if it hasn't like changed our cruise altitude or anything. No. So it is a little bit weird. I have no idea why it has decided to descend us so early, but it has. It just has. Who knows why, but that's what it decided, so we'll leave that. And there, look, is the Volotea, I think it is. Yep. Volotea A319, there it is, just ahead of me, and it is also heading to Ibiza, but it's on a different route. It's heading to, it's heading for Rixalt, and then from there it'll join the arrival, if I show you guys, look. So, oh, Eurocontrol West just came online. Oh, hang a minute, Eurocontrol West is over Spain and France, isn't it? I mean, that'll only cover us down to 250, but it's something. But I believe Eurocontrol West is that. So 13525. I'll get it pre-tuned in case we get a contact me. Considering how early we're descending though, we might not get much ATC from them. Unless they contact us very soon. Yep, it is Eurocontrol West. It is the one that covers Spain and France. So we might get some ATC. Oh no, mine may just come straight offline. Oh come on! I saw it pop up. Pops up on that spot, and then after literally a minute, disconnects. What's going on today? Why is no one in the mood for ATC today? That's happened twice today now, where people didn't connect and then 1 minute later disconnect. We might get them a little bit later, I don't know, but it doesn't look like it. So there's the Volatea look over there. That'll be off on its route now to Rixot, which is a little bit further from Pors. However, way before that, I'm going to start descending. Can't believe that. I thought we were going to get some ATC then. No. No ATC for us. I'm going to set below on the TCAS so we can keep an eye on the Volatea that's just below us. We're actually going very slowly now, unfortunately. So that initial descent is going to be so slow. 48 miles and we're only descending like a few thousand feet. Why so slow? What does SimBrief say? Because SimBrief does actually have the arrival plugged in as well. So what does SimBrief think? SimBrief thinks... Well, okay, SimBrief's wrong then. SimBrief thinks we should start descending after the Mallorca VOR. That's great. It's a bit late. That's a bit too late, I think, but... There we go. But yeah, my plane is a little bit of a weird one. I don't think we should descend this early. Like, just after Soras. Literally, 210 miles out. Which is far too far. I don't know, should I do it myself, the descent? I don't really want to, but... It seems as if it's being a bit old. Hang on a minute, what I'm going to do now, so what if I put up our cruise to 360 and then put it back down to 350? Is that going to recalculate things? Nope, it puts it in the same place, even though it did recalculate it. So, it's calculated it twice, and it obviously does think that that's where we're going to need to descend. Maybe it's because of the cost index we're using or something. Who knows? Well, I'm not arguing with it. Plane generally knows best. Show that ATC there. So there's the Volatea. We're actually overtaking it now. Funnily enough. Have to watch what happens, I guess. What speed's it doing now? It's doing 317. What? It's doing 317 knots. Really? How is it going that slowly? Okay. Again, slightly weird, but whatever. Yeah, I'll continue at this altitude and then I guess we will just descend when the plane wants us to. I may as well do voice unicom as well for the descent, because why not? Estimated fuel on arrival is actually slightly dipping, but it's still okay. This can go down to 40 nautical mile range now. One, it'll like to keep an eye on that plane behind us, but fact that it's going that slowly means that we are just pulling away from it. Because I don't know how it's doing 318 knots. I'm not explaining that, but somehow it's doing 318 knots. So yeah, we are descending in just over 20 miles time now. Crazy, crazy plane. What if I delete the restriction at ports? Is that going to like change its mind about where to descend? No. Yes. What on earth? You stupid, stupid plane. It wanted to descend earlier because of a restriction that didn't affect it. That's really strange. Right, let's just quickly set that again. And somehow being above 10,000 changes its mind. That's weird. That is a weird thing. That shouldn't happen. Our plane's weird. I don't know what to do now. The fact that you have to be above 10,000 at Pollenza is totally unrelated. That's really strange. But then I think it's descending too late. Well, okay. Plus flight level 100. Okay, 10,000 plane. I don't know why it's saying 10,000 because that's not the transition altitude. But we'll stick with that then. I don't know what's going on then. That's really odd. Why does the plane want to descend? Why does this restriction matter? It doesn't matter. This restriction doesn't affect us. Because remember, it's above flight level 100, not below. So it really shouldn't make a difference, but somehow it does. It must be how the descent is programmed, obviously. It wants us to be... I don't know, I don't mind. I'm happy with what the plane wants, I guess. I guess we'll just start our descent now then, really? I don't know, it seems way too early for me though. It doesn't seem right to descend now. Well, we're 213 miles still away. 213. Well, I think it has moved it forward a little bit. Well, that's quite far away from Ibiza to be considering descent when there's literally no restrictions. But you know, I'll let the plane decide, so never mind. I guess what it is, it probably wants to be above 10,000 so it can then be at a proper altitude for the rest of the approach. Have we hit it yet? The decel point we have. I'm going to do it in text because it's easier to other people then. Right, Ibiza traffic descending from flight level 350 via. We are on the POS for November arrival using ILS. We're using 24 ILS Zulu 24. There. Just send that on Unicom. There we go. I think we're descending a bit early, but never mind. I wonder why we're descending so early. That's what I want to know. And you can see, look how slow our descent is now. Look how slow it is. Stupid plane. Well, oh well, so that's how this plane is. I don't know, where we're going to reach 10,000 though still looks okay. It looks like a pretty decent place to hit it, I guess, so... Never mind. The volatility hasn't started its descent yet, so who knows? So this thing's descent speed's okay. It's just what the plane wanted, really. No ATC or anything, unfortunately, so this is all we got. We should have some new weather through on Ibiza in about 15 minutes, so that'll be the last weather then before the arrival. There is the lovely island of Menorca down there. And then Mallorca we're flying directly over in a little bit. That's rather nice. Right now there's actually nothing on the ground in Ibiza, so we've got Ibiza to ourselves, and the plane from Nice, the Volaterra, is going to be there 1 minute before us apparently, so it's very tight. I think it's still up at cruise, I mean, because their plane might not be done like ours. That's probably what's happened. I don't know why our plane decided to descend so early. I mean, we're still 180 miles out.
Traffic information, line up and take off runway 19 via Meadow Street, calling 1106.
So yeah, I have no idea what our plane is really doing, honestly. It's just setting crazy early. But saying that though, we're not going to reach 10,000 feet for ages, because it will tell me when we're going to reach 10,000 because I've got it plugged in, and it's not for ages. So it's a little bit of a weird one. If you look at when we're going to reach 10,000, it's perfect, but then if you look at what it's actually doing, it's a little bit odd as to why. You know, we're passing 23,000. I think our plane may have messed something up here. You know, it's definitely messed something up. We shouldn't be this low, but I don't know, I believe the plane that we should stick with it, but oh well. You can see now, I think it is starting to slow down its descent path right now, so who knows why it wanted to descend so early. That's the bit that puzzles me. You know, descend to 13,000 feet and then it decides to level off a little bit more, like, we've already descended loads, it's a bit early for that. And then somehow being above 10,000, like a restriction that says above 10,000, somehow changes that. Strange. Who knows, I guess? Who knows? We're passing 20,000 feet here, and yeah, we are a bit too high, I think, but that's what our plane decided, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just trying to wonder why our plane thought that restriction changed things. I said the plane really should know what it's capable of, so you know, it sends what it likes. Oh, we're into the clouds. We should get some new weather for Ibiza through in about 10 minutes now. Transition altitude was 6,000, so we're all fine for that. Passing 18,000 now. I think that's actually the Volatea up there, by the way. And as you can see, it hasn't started descending yet. Our plane is so messed up. That's the only thought I've really got right now. Our plane's just totally messed up. It's acting like it needs to be at flight level 100 at POS, but it doesn't. That's kind of the silly thing. Like, we've still got 160 miles to go and you're at 17,000 feet plane. Like, that's a bit messed up. But the plane, I don't know, the plane's sticking by it. Yeah, I should have deleted the restriction at POS. I really should have just deleted it. Because it obviously thinks that above 10,000 means at 10,000. For some strange, confusing reason. And then we've literally got 34 miles left and then 50 miles there. We're just going to be sitting down at what? I bet this thing's going to try and descend to 4,500 feet now, watch. That's why I'm only going to allow it down to 10,000, because it's silly. I don't know why our plane's designed. I don't know, I wish I'd just kept us up at 350 now. I don't know, this plane, it's a bit odd. It's been a bit messed up, this flight. It was deleting waypoints in Innsbruck randomly, and now it's doing this. Like, it's a bit odd what our plane is doing today. I don't really know what's up with it, but it's a bit strange. Like, descending far too early. I don't know, I think the Volatea has started descending now by the looks of it. I'm not sure. Nope, still hasn't started, because that's the thing, really. We shouldn't be descending yet. I mean, at this rate, we are going to be at 10,000 at POS, and we're meant to be at 10,000 there, look. That's the issue we've had. This plane is basically totally wrong in what it's doing. It doesn't seem to understand. Like, we're 145 miles away. 145 miles, it's a lot. I accidentally knocked the throttles then, ignore that. I don't really know. But over Palma right now, there's 4 planes on the ground in Palma. 4, that's quite a few. Busy airport. You can see now, look, its estimation of where we're going to be at 10,000 is starting to change. Seatbelt signs can come on now. But you can see it's always going backwards, look. I'm going to hold us at 10,000 because I don't want it descending to 4,500 at Mallorca. I do not want it to go doing that. But you know what, to stop us from dropping speed, because otherwise below 10,000 it's going to want to descend to 4,500, I can guarantee. I've deleted that restriction now. And look, still, despite the fact I've deleted the restriction, we've still got the same VNAV path. It's so dumb what's going on with this plane. And I'll delete the restriction at Mallorca as well. And then from there, look, that's where the actual approach starts. And hopefully then, the VNAV path will be a bit more normal. So I'll hold it at 12,000 because that way it doesn't have to go down to 250 knots. So we're not actually losing that much speed. So we can hold it here for a little bit, it's not so bad. But yeah, our plane has messed itself up, I think. However, I think we have a shout of being there before the Volatea though, at Mallorca VOR, which is where the two procedures merge, because it's probably not even at Moors yet, or it might be. No, Rixot. It might not be at Rixot yet, and it's actually 70 miles from Rixot to CDP, and then another 35 to the Mallorca VOR. So it's got quite a long journey to the Mallorca VOR, and I'm just 50 miles away. Now. No, not 50 actually, 33. So, and then from there, that's where the proper procedure starts. So I'm not going to listen to that. We've got to be above 4,500. And then Nelix, that's where I'm going to keep the restrictions in. Because I don't trust this plane. You know, really, we can pass Mallorca and then start descending. And we've still got 50 miles to descend like 7,000 feet, which is almost nothing. So something tells me my plane doesn't really know what it's doing. Right, we should get some new weather through on Ibiza in about 3 to 4 minutes. The Volatea has actually, has it started descending now? Yeah, it has. No, it hasn't. It's still at 31,000. That's kind of the problem, look. I mean, like, our plane has just descended far too early, so I'm just stuck here then, waiting at 12,000, like, it's so dumb. But there we go, welcome to the Aerosoft Airbus, guys. It does do things like that every now and then, for some strange reason. But I'm not going to listen to it, because this thing's descent path isn't true. Really, I don't know why I didn't realise that beforehand, honestly. And yeah, that Volatea is actually ahead of me. However, I think now the Volatea should start descending. Because remember, you have still got to be at max 220 knots at Nelix, so it is better to be lower at Nelix than it is to be higher because of that speed restriction, and then it goes down to 210 knots. Right, you don't want to be high up at that speed restriction. But yeah, Nelix is where the proper procedure really starts. Weirdly, I can't see the Volatea on my TCAS. But I've set it to above. No, I can't see it anywhere. So that's interesting. Yeah, the Volatea is still... Okay, it started descending now. Is that it there? That might be it there, you know. That shows how dumb my plane is, honestly, doesn't it? My plane has way messed this up. It has no clue what it's meant to be doing, this plane. Honestly, I do feel quite annoyed by this plane. It shouldn't be this low. I almost feel like climbing. I'm not going to do that though, that's going to mess it up, but I'd rather just leave it at 12,000 now, but it's a little bit annoying what the plane has done. Because that's the Volaterra up there, look, and I think it's just hit the Mallorca VOR. Or at least we're not going to clash then, because it is well ahead of me, thanks to my plane stupidity. We're still 115 miles out, so yeah. But I'll probably start descending about 40 miles from Nelux, which is in about 25 miles. That's about 90 miles out. It's a little bit more fair. We haven't had the newest weather through on Ibiza, but if I check the Meta, we have 220 at 12. That has not changed. And QNH is now 1006. That has changed. And apart from that, it's all fine. And clouds are still scattered at 1000, so weather's not too much of a problem either. It's a shame we're going so slowly now. That's kind of the problem. Because we're lower, we're just going quite slowly. And that Volaterra is just like, it's there, look, it's way ahead of us now. Why did I listen to the plane? Why did I listen to it? I don't know why I listened to it. I don't know why you can trust this Airbus now. You just can't trust the Aerosoft Airbus. If I move the restriction at Nelux, what altitude are we going to be at? 6,200, look. So, it's okay. Although I need to wait a little bit longer before we start descending any lower. I'm quite annoyed by this plane, I think, today. I'm not in the best of moods for this plane now. I don't know, because I don't know why it's messed up there, because we've had this, like, obviously I've had approaches like this before in this plane, and it has not done this. So I don't know why it's done it today. But again, if it happens in future, just remember that we have to delete the restriction that's causing the issue, which in this case was the Polenta VOR, saying we had to be above 10,000, meaning that it wasn't really any kind of restriction, but the game saw it as a restriction. The plane did, for some reason, just saw it as I need to be at 10,000, which obviously isn't true. But I'll try and follow what the Volaterra is doing, maybe, as a guide. Yeah, we're just passing the Mallorca VOR, so I'll wait another 10 minutes at least, no, 10 miles, before we start descending any further. And that'll mean we are, you know, about 90 miles out. Oh, no, it's quite nice being this low, but it is also very silly. It's a bit of a wasteful of fuel as well, really. So it's still going to take us 10 minutes to get to Nelux, look. So at this point, I probably could have been descending from... I think I didn't realise how long this approach was. Yeah, we're still 98 miles out. I could be at about 20,000 feet right now. So it is kind of silly, really. But whatever, I'll just ignore it, I guess. We have got a plane climbing out of Mallorca as well, to the right of us. It is a 747 heading to Barcelona, so I'll have to watch that, see what it does. But it is currently on its way up. And also I can see it on the TCAS, so... But it seems to be climbing quite slowly. Right, that Volaterra is now 18,000 feet, and it's about maybe... There you go, look. They just sent their descending message now. They're using the Rix on 3 November, perfect. Wait, 3 November? Oh, it is 3 November, yeah, okay. Our one is the 4 November. It's not the same from 310 now, though. So I'm not really sure. And it is using runway 24, so perfect. And there is the Volotea, look. And it's only 20 miles ahead of us. So you can see from that we are eventually now catching up with what we're meant to be doing. We are actually going quicker than the Volotea by about 20 knots. So we'll be closing it back in now. And obviously we'll use that as a bit of a guide to our descent, really. Put it down to 20 nautical mile range. Actually, I can't see it then. I can't see the Volotea. But we want to be roughly at 10,000 where it is now. No, 12,000 where it is now. Because obviously it is ahead of us, so it will be lower. Because I think that person's plane has actually done the job properly, rather than my plane, which has totally messed it up. Welcome to the Aerosoft Airbus. That's what that is. But yeah, but since I'm going quicker than that Volotea, well, I'm going quicker by about 30 knots, so I'll have to watch what's going on with that. I estimated that, like, altitude at Nellux is starting to drop now. No, but go up, I mean. But we've still only got to drop about, you know, a few thousand feet, so we're not going to start doing it just yet. Yeah, I will have to time it myself, obviously, as we haven't got anything. Yeah, we haven't got the plane to tell us. Because the plane doesn't, you know, obviously the plane thinks we're totally off course. I've got to be prepared. This thing will actually start, I think it will probably start to dive on me, so I might do a vertical speed for this arrival rather than anything else. Because I haven't really got anything to go off. There is no, like, above the restriction. We're still 80 miles away, look. You can see there, so... That Volotea is going to start slowing down now as well, because it's below 10,000 feet. So hopefully I can start catching it up. That would be nice. You can see we are starting to catch up. Because our TCAS is on below, we will see it for quite a while. We'll see it until 6,000 feet below. At Nellux as well, we have to be at 220 knots too. So I'll have to watch that. Right, I'm going to descend when we're 65 miles out. That seems fair. 65 miles. So 15 miles from Nellux. It gives us time to slow down then as well. And, you know, so that's what I'm going to do, I think. And it's 15 miles ahead, that Volotea. 15 miles. So I'm going 40 knots quicker than it. So our ETA is currently, I'm going to be there 3 minutes behind anyway. The bonus of my plane descending this early, though, is that separation is no longer an issue. If I had descended and saved the 3 or 4 minutes, then that would have caused some problems with separation. So, in a way, it's not so much of an issue. ETA is 17 minutes. This stream might actually go on quite long. It's looking like we were meant to have a flight time of 1 hour and 56, but this slight mess up from the plane, and obviously the fact that we did take an extended SID. We weren't planning to take anything out of Innsbruck, so that extra little thing out of Innsbruck will have also, I think, was it 5 minutes? Remember, we added on 5 minutes because we did time, so 2 hours and 1. That's what we're expecting. Anything further than 2 hours and 1 will be caused due to the plane's own error, basically. No ATC, sadly. Story of today. Never having ATC. Right, and now we are 65 miles, roughly, from Ibiza. So now it's time to descend. I will plug in 4,000 feet. I'm not letting this thing handle the descent itself. I'm going to do 1,000 feet per minute because I do not trust this plane. I really don't trust it. No, let's say 1,200 feet per minute. And that puts us at 4,000 for there, look. You know what, 1,300 feet per minute, and that allows a little bit nicer. Obviously we'll start to slow down, that will change. But for now, just getting 1,300 feet per minute going, get a nice descent going. Perfect. I'm going to turn this down to 10 nautical mile range now, otherwise I'm going to start to see just everything at once on the map. Obviously, I will try and keep up with the restrictions and things. We've got to be at 220 knots at Nelux. But yeah, I'm sticking in terms of altitude. I'm hoping we'll eventually start to pick up the VNAV path again, and I can just go off vertical speed and go on to using VNAV. Right, this thing's going to start slowing down now to 220 knots, so I need to follow it with that. It's less than 15 miles away now, that other plane. We're now, 55 miles away. That's a bit of a better number. The amount of fuel we have on board has started falling a little bit. But we're passing 9,000 feet now. So I'd say we're pretty good now for our arrival into Ibiza. And we will have to follow the whole procedure, obviously, because we've got the Voltaire doing the same thing. But at the moment, just a very slow descent, just to let the plane hopefully have a proper arrival, basically, rather than what it's doing right now, which is silly. And I'll need to watch the airspeed that I'm doing versus the Voltaire. It's doing 240. No, I'm doing 240. It's doing... How is it doing 260? That means it's breaking the speed limit. The speed limit's 210 knots. Okay, we'll just ignore that as well. Right, we're passing... How is it on short final? Is it going direct, is it, to there? After IB727 or something? Because otherwise it's not on short final. I don't know what's going on now. How's it on short final? Anyone want to explain that? Oh well. Right, we are now fully on to our arrival now. Oh, I need to put on the landing lights actually. Should have done that a little bit earlier. I'm hoping we'll catch back up with our VNAV path at some point, but not yet. And I'm going to clear this thing down to 3,000 now as well. But not using its own VNAV. Because we need to be at 3,000 a bit later on. So we'll have to hold probably at 3,000 for quite a bit. As you can see, we're actually going to slow down to 210 knots now for this last bit. coming up on transition altitude, which is 6,000. QH is 1006. Let's set that now. So that's altered our altitude a little bit by about 200 feet, so not too much. How far is it now? 43 miles, so we haven't got that long to go actually, even though it sort of looks like we have. I'm thinking about just jumping direct to the ILS, honestly. It seems a bit silly that we can't do that. I think in real life they probably would give us that, but we've got no ATC online. I won't be able to do that though, but I won't, because obviously we have got another plane that we have to think about. It's not just us at the moment. If it was just me, I would. But that's not the case. There is another plane in the area. So we're down at 210 knots now, correctly. Descending alright. My Voltaire's got quite a lead on me now because of the fact that it's actually doing 200 knots now. It's a bit better, but it's there now. Look, so it's well ahead of me, which is perfect. Really, it's what we wanted. So I won't be able to take a shortcut because of the other plane, because it causes issues for both of us. There you go. We're finally catching up on our VNAV path now, so I can enable VNAV descent rather than using vertical speed. We got there in the end then with the plane, and that means we're then going to because we need to be at 3,000 for quite a while because of how the approach works out. Remember that this is just 10-mile range though, so 35 miles is all we have left. Not much left now. There's a little bit of an interesting approach pattern this. I've got to say, hang on a minute, how is that Voltaire 3,000 below us now, 2,000 below us? That means it's below 3,000, which once again doesn't make any sense. Oh dear. So what keeps going on there, who knows? Looks like our plane's just holding it at the altitude we're at right now. It doesn't want to go any lower. I think it does now. But yeah, 2 hours and 1 minute we're expecting on the flight time. Who knows what we're going to get by the end of this. It's weird because it wasn't even that long a flight. It's just taken ages today. I guess just because whilst the plane's like, hey, we can have a good landing after all this, really. We are going to get some new weather through for Ibiza in 10 minutes, but that's still quite a while away. We're only 30 miles out now, so we're not going to be changing the weather. Okay, the Voltaire is now doing 177 knots. I'm doing 250, so I'm probably really tearing into its speed because I'm doing that's ground speed. Remember, not this knots. Just saying. Actually, that kind of explains why it was doing that speed. Then it wasn't a restriction thing. Now, for some reason, again, weird bug. We've got 100 feet over this, so that it does look a bit weird. I have no idea what's going on with this Airbus today. It's a little bit bugged. I don't know. There is a little bit of weirdness going on with the plane. It might be because we didn't use automated checklists. There are some things that the automated checklists do that I can't really figure out. I can't see them in the cockpit, or they don't show you what they do. They just do random button clicking and don't bring it up. So they might do stuff with this plane that you're meant to do that I'm not aware of because they don't mention it with checklists. But who knows? Doesn't really matter. We're all good anyway. This plane, the second half of the VNAV on our star has been okay, but remember, I think we have looked quite a bit today, really. I mean, when departing an airport like Innsbruck, use flaps 2, not 1, and if we find a stupid descent pattern, investigate it and try and remove a restriction that was causing the issue, because the plane is wrong. The plane isn't always right. I think we need to learn that, really. The plane is not always right. actually see the Voltaire on my TCAS anywhere. Well, it's 10 miles away though, so we have closed up on it quite a bit. Right, what's our go around altitude today? It is 3,000 feet. So we'll keep 3,000 set then. Since we're already on an ILS path now, we're already on the path for the ILS, I will arm the approach. And we've already got a localizer apparently. Really? I can't even see a localizer in here and somehow it's got one. Why is that saying ILS, ILS, ILS like that? Why hasn't the ILS been tuned? Right, does it need tuning myself? Do I need to do that myself as well? 109.5. Nope, it's already in there with a course of 242. It just hasn't latched onto it yet then. We're still a little too far out. We need to be 25 miles out, I think. No, we're 20 miles out. It should be fine. We should be able to hook onto the ILS no problem. Well, who knows? It's on the right frequency, so that's not a problem. And so, I mean, it's got the localizer, so it obviously knows what it's doing. A bit. I don't know, it's not technically an active ILS until Ermut. That's where the glide slope and things become active. And Ibiza should just be straight ahead of us now. Right, I'm gonna get rid of Ibiza on that thing. I'm gonna turn it off so it's not getting in the way. That there. Well, it's still doing that, so. Because it's showing like a direction because of where we are. Because it's on the Ibiza VOR. Never mind. Right, can I go into nav radio? I'm going to try and get this to follow. Yeah. I'm going to try and get this to follow the Mallorca VOR so it doesn't show up on here as a VOR. Oh, it still shows up anyway. Maybe that's not the case then. Alright, whatever, we'll leave it then. We'll leave that. Anyway, let's get on with our arrival then. It's not time to drop gear or anything. We are still 14 miles out, remember? So, still a little bit before we start prepping. But we'll go ahead and arm the ground spoilers for landing. Get the takeoff. No, we don't need them, do we? We should be good with the lights. We should be good. Okay. Just the gear and the flaps now then. We've hit our decel point there, actually. So, pretty good timing. We'll maintain 3,000. Hopefully this thing can activate on the glide slope at some point. Although, yeah, for some reason I can't actually see. I can't see the little thing that pops up. It's like with the bars either side. Don't know why. But yeah, we're going to start slowing down now. Slowing down to final approach speed. Because it is time to do that now. We're only 7.5 miles behind the Voltaire as well, so I need to make sure. Right, I'm going to send. Wait, I've just put on Unicom if the Voltaire can announce when it's vacated runway 24, because obviously if it hasn't vacated I have to go around. They go, Roger. So when it's vacated I'll know I'm good for landing. There you go, we're on the glide slope now. Seriously, why is this plane totally bugged today, or is it the livery? What's going on? Because I can't see the things, the left and right. You know, either side you have the, I don't know, this plane is acting strange today. I don't know what's up with it. But as you can see, look, there's meant to be, obviously, down here, the localizer that we're meant to follow, and there, the glide slope we're meant to follow. Neither of them are there, but the plane is following them. So, I don't know whether it's how the plane loaded in. Maybe it's because of the fact we had AI and then deleted them. I don't normally do that. I don't know, does that, or maybe it's the livery. We haven't flown the livery before. But it's being a bit strange. Right, we are 8 miles out. They go vacated. Roger. All fine. Right, full flaps then. and drop the gear because we're now 6 miles out and ready for approach. This is going to be a bit tricky. I don't have a glide slope or a localizer to follow because the plane is stupid. Now, actually the auto throttle, I forget this. The auto throttle, what on earth? Why did the... I don't know what to say about this plane. It just randomly started throttling up. Obviously, it randomly started throttling down in Innsbruck. Yeah, I'm beginning to think this plane's a bit broken today. Hopefully it's not like that on Saturday. Maybe I'll run it with the checklists, but not automated. I'll do the checklists myself, maybe, to make sure that the plane is set up correctly. Because it's a bit odd, honestly. It's a little bit odd what's going on with the plane today. Right, 4 miles out. I actually thought I already have control. I didn't realise that. Rep. Now, the way... What do you mean glide? I can't even see my glide slope. How can it moan at me about my glide slope if I can't see it? Oh, nope, that's my own fault. I didn't enable the landing system. That's not a bug. The plane's not being buggy today. It was my own fault. Okay, now I know what we're doing. Guess we're a little bit too high. I know you can stop yelling glide slope. Be quiet, plane. So the way it works in this plane, you have auto throttle until you touch down, and then when it says retard, which means put back on the throttle, that's when I go idle. Unlike the Boeing, where you have to take control of the throttle before landing, this thing can manage it itself. Okay, it's parked gate 25. Okay. I'm not going to grab a parking chart until we've landed. I want to just focus on landing now. Winds aren't too bad, so we'll be able to have quite a stable landing, hopefully. There's 2 hours and 3 minutes looking into the flight, so
500.
Only a little bit more than what we planned in Innsbruck. So the mistake the plane made didn't actually cost us that much time on the end. A few minutes, really.
400. 100 above.
Obviously, this thing can be a bit odd to land. The physics of this thing's flying isn't quite as good as some of the planes I fly, so I'll have to watch
200.
that. We might have a bit of a rough landing, as is normal in this plane. There's minimums. Continue.
100. 70. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Oh, minus 152. That's probably the first good landing I ever done. Right, there we go. Activate reversers using my yoke this time. And 80 knots, reverses in. And vacate here on Echo. Hello and welcome everybody. Stop the clock there. 2 hours and 4 minutes. Hello and welcome everyone to Ibiza. Flight time today, 2 hours and 4 minutes. Right, oh, stopped a bit too quickly there, I didn't realise that. Right, off go the landing lights, on goes the taxi lights. On to Party Island, nice. Anyway, on goes the APU. Sweet. Anyway, let's go ahead and taxi now down to, what's it called? Parking stands. Right, taxi lights, parking stands. Right, we're going to take gate 2, well, let's take 26, go on. Stand 26, boom, there we go. Lag as that loads in. Right, runway 26 handling has already been set up. And yeah, runway, there you go. Taxiing into the apron now. We're parking right next to the Volatea that we see there. I think, you know, our ceiling might be slightly out, but you know. Everything's all good then, everything All fine. We're going to turn off the taxi lights now as we're entering the apron area. Maybe our scenery is slightly out for Ibiza, I don't know. It's weird though, it's actually got pretty new scenery, so that shouldn't be the case. Oh yeah, you can park sideways in the... Oh yeah, oh, it's just gate 25, that's what it is. Gate 25 is facing sideways like that. None of the other gates are doing that. And then next to it is 25B, 25 Bravo, and then after that is 26. Bit of a weird one. Yeah, but everyone, welcome everyone. That was probably the best line I've ever done in this Airbus, I will be honest. Not bad today. I'm in a good mood. We've done some good flying today. We've got through a few of the bugs. Some created by me, some created by the plane. And I got through it all. Looks like I'm not going to be able to see the marshal. He's probably inside the building. Honestly. I wish they wouldn't do that in GSX, like have the marshal inside the building, but never mind. That's what it is. Oh, never mind, we have got him in the correct place. I just didn't see him. Loading distance is a bit late, I think. Make sure we're on the correct... facing the correct way, there we go. Make sure I'm sort of roughly the correct. There we go. Perfect! That is us here. Perfect parking. Oh, it was perfect parking until we rolled forward a little bit. Drop the engines. Hello and welcome everyone to Ibiza. That is it for today. There we go. Bit of a longer stream than normal, maybe, but no mind. A little bow. Are you going to do a little dance for us, Mr. GSX man, or no? Oh well. Too bad. Anyway, let's go ahead and request deboarding for the 159 peeps we have on board today. Nice, nice, nice. Anyway, let's go ahead and get ground services, track cones, wheel chocks, parking brakes off, and external power is connected. We'll open our doors now. Open our cargo doors, and we are waiting on external power that can turn on. APU can come off, and the fuel pumps can come off as well. We'll go ahead and turn off the seatbelt signs, turn off the beacon light, turn off the nav and logo light, turn off the strobe light. And there we go, that is it. I'll have to wait for the bus to open the front door for passengers, but the rest of it can continue as normal for now. And there we go, that is us on the ground in sunny Party Island of Ibiza. Here comes the bus, so I'll open the front two doors. We'll turn off active sky now. There you go, away it goes. And that is pretty much it, I think. Doesn't really look much different without active sky because of the nice weather, but there we go. That is the flight completed. 2 hours and 4 minutes. Just go ahead and get rid of the clock, actually. And turn off the flight directors and all that now as well. And make sure everything is turned off. It is. We'll go ahead and get all the packs and everything into the off position. There you go. Everything is all fully off now. Everyone's deboarding. And that is us all finished. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and disconnect ourselves from Vatsim now. And that is us on the ground here. 14 playbacks today. Not bad. Not bad. And that is us on the ground and finished here in Party Island of Ibiza. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed this stream. You can see me again tomorrow afternoon, same time, 1:15 BST, flying out of Ibiza down to Gatwick in the Fly 2787. Who knows, maybe we can actually get some ATC then. And then Saturday, 8:30 AM, we'll be taking, no, not 8:30 AM, sorry, 9 AM. we'll be taking a Jetstar Asia A320 into Singapore from Ho Chi Minh City for Singapore Real Ops 2020. I can't wait for that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will leave you with the background music. Bye-bye!